Hello and welcome to episode 60 of Thinking Outside the Pod.
Episode 60. That is, if we're going with all of our previous episodes, that is what, one more than 59? And I found out a new one, two more than 58.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man, we're going big numbers there. That is way infinitely bigger than one.
Yeah, well, maybe not infinitely bigger, but bigger nonetheless. But
Don't destroy my dreams. Sure.
It's infinite.
I'm learning this math. I don't know. It's hard to count to two.
Yeah, so episode 60, we've I guess that's a benchmark.
I guess.
I guess every new episode's a benchmark. We
sure,
made it another week.
We keep going. Hey, that's a good thing. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't stop us.
Our glass half
There's
full.
a lot of people out there that want to stop us.
Uh-oh.
But
Like
we're
who?
I don't know them, nor have I felt their presence at all trying to stop us, but I'm sure there are.
Okay, I guess.
There are bad
Sure.
people everywhere.
Sure.
Why not? But this week we thought it would be a good idea to talk about kind of a big deal in the world now, like YouTube.
Yeah, we've talked about it several times. We kind of brought it up last week that we were going to do a weird YouTube episode, I guess. And hey, guess what? We decided, why not do it today?
Why not
Patrick's
now?
awesome. We're like, hey, we'll just do it.
Before we forget as well. But
Sure.
yeah, YouTube. And we'll talk about some of our favorite channels and videos in a bit. But first, kind of what brought us to it is
new fancy stuff coming up. Definitely on YouTube. One of the things I noticed was a new Star Wars trailer.
That's
the second one, the second theatrical trailer, whatever it is.
Yeah, or the first actual trailer.
Yeah,
the other
not
one was
the
a teaser.
Yeah.
So first trailer of the new Star Wars movie, and I'm excited.
I am too. I mean, it's one of those of, when you. I guess if you haven't seen the trailer, I mean, it was just, of course, clips of the movie and stuff like that. But at the end, they showed, an old Han Solo and Chewie. Which is cool. But, what I'm kind of curious of how much they're going to tie it back to the original 6 movies,
I'm sure there's going to be some callbacks.
I mean, if there's Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of
in the old
tie-ins.
Like if you go through the trailer, the first scene you see is like a huge desert scape, which assuming I think it's Tatooine. I'm not
assume
sure.
So. Yeah.
They didn't say it, of course, but then you see a huge ship that had crash landed.
Yeah.
From the war, from the first movie. So it's just that first scene. You're already calling back the history of the first trilogy.
Sure,
technically. So I'm sure there's going to be callbacks, but I think this movie is going to serve just to give you all the callbacks.
I guess just say here's your nostalgia, and then all right, now we're going into a new storyline. I hope. I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping. I was hoping the new movies weren't going to be trying to tie in with the old ones also, or at least have some references to it, but be same universe, but like I don't know, like a planet or two over or whatever.
Yeah, so. It's like the like we're mixing genres, or not really genres. We're mixing series, but going like Star Trek.
Okay,
they had all the original series actors doing the movies.
Yeah,
and then they did what is it? First Contact or Generations or something like that.
Okay, and
it was the first movie where they introduced the characters from Next Generation.
That would be
to do
cool.
Movies. So that's what I think this movie is, like a transition movie.
Sure.
Where they're gonna call back. They had the Darth Vader helmet scene in the trailer, and then it's just gonna be the new adventures of like that
whoever these new characters are. Because I mean they didn't give too much into who they are. I mean there's
there's rumors,
maybe like Leia and Han Solo's kids. I mean, I don't know if they decide to officially make that canon, because in all the books and stuff like that, they eventually get married. I guess spoiler alert, a little late now.
Yeah,
but it used to be canon until Disney took it over, and then it's no longer canon.
Yeah,
so
like,
who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's the thing. And there are a lot of rumors about what everything means and things like that, but you never know until you see it, and that's how I like to go into movies.
Yeah,
without knowing as much, because there's people that make all these theories, and some of them might be right, and it's spoiling it. So I try not to read those.
I don't know. I think theories make it a little bit, because you're like, all right, this could happen. It's an interesting thought, and okay, this may be what happens. I mean, I don't know. It depends.
Well, yeah, no, I try to avoid them, but if I see like the headline interesting, I'm like, I might as well read it. Who knows if they're right? Because
I hate flat out spoilers. I mean, if you're just gonna summarize the movie, it's like, no, don't do that. I mean, do your theories or whatever, your theory crafting or whatever you want to call it. Do all that good stuff, but don't don't spoil the movie. You know?
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Yeah.
Unless I don't care to see it, then I'm like, if I don't care to see it, then I'll like, all right, then I will look at just a synopsis of the movie. So I'm like, all right, I don't have to watch it now. I get the gist of it.
And another trailer that came out for Battlefront.
Yes.
What is that? I've not played any of.
All right,
the
so
games.
Battlefront was. Let me see how to explain it. It was kind of like a war game almost. You had like your see if I remember right, it was like capture the bases and stuff like that. But it was like you had two teams on and then you're supposed to like capture objectives and stuff like that. Okay. But it was just like a lot of Star Wars characters and stuff like that. They had a couple of levels that had like X-wings and TIE fighters and all that good stuff.
What type was it? Was it real time strategy or was it?
It was kind of
a mix.
Kind of a mix between real time strategy and third person shooter.
Okay. All right.
So like some of the later iterations of it like started introducing like Jedis and stuff like that, so you can have like super overpowered melee characters versus your weak, just like standard troops and stuff like that. I played a little bit back in the day. I think the first one is the only one I really played. But I mean the trailer. Like what confuses me is on the trailer that they came out with. It said like in-game or in-engine footage. Which is like, well, what the hell does that mean? I mean, it's which means cutscenes. You're like, it's a fancy. You just say this is what a cutscene's gonna look like, and it looked awesome. I mean, the cutscene was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. But you're like, the game's probably not gonna look like that. That's if it does, I'll be shocked.
Like that reminds me of like the Halo trailers. Yeah. Like you always see like the amazing epic things, and it's like that's not gameplay footage.
Yeah, because if you see in-engine footage, that usually means cutscene. And that's fancy. That's high contrast. Yada yada. That's not what the actual game is going to look like. Though. Some games that might be the case, but not many.
Yeah. I mean, the trailers are there to kind of entice viewers. Sure. So the in-engine footage is a good showcase of that, I guess.
Yeah. So for those of you who watch video game trailers, those very first trailers, chances are that's not what the game's going to look like. So don't believe that. I mean, about 99% of the time, those very first trailers are usually like cutscenes and stuff like that, not actual gameplay.
Yeah. If you're expecting huge, epic-looking things, you'll be disappointed. Just understand what you're seeing.
It'll be toned down. That big, fancy, high-contrast stuff is for promotional purposes. It will be toned down. But most of the time. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it will be toned down for the actual release, which makes sense because, to get your computer to run that fancy, you need a god computer, or something super powerful. So, they have to tone it down just so people can actually play the game.
As far as, Star Wars games, I've only played like Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
And it was really good. I really liked it. I like those ethic, choice-based, moral type games, Mass Effect and all those kinds of things. Sure. Fable, or just because some of my favorite games. So I'm not opposed to it. I've maybe a familiar world is something that will get me back in the game. So maybe I'll have to check it out. I think. What's it on? Is it on everything?
You know what? I didn't see. I would assume probably like PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC would be what I would assume. I didn't really look too much into it because it's an older series. It's been around for a while. Just they haven't made a new iteration since I think they were trying to make one or something like that. And then when Disney bought it out, it kind of was in limbo if they were going to do it. And then they finally went, all right, EA is going to publish it, and then they're going to stick it out. I'm just hoping they're not going to put in like microtransactions like they've been doing with like every friggin' thing.
I hope not either. It is the trend, but I hope that they buck the trend.
Well, because I guess real quick, since we have, I guess we're trying to do the recurring segment. I just thought of don't do that.
Okay, stop it.
Yeah, or stop it. Yeah.
Okay.
Microtransactions.
I agree. Yeah,
that's the biggest offender that I've seen that's probably just made me shake my head was Mortal Kombat 10 just came out last week, and what they literally did was they had a microtransaction for I think it's like $1 or something like that, or $2. You can unlock 5 tokens that give you easy fatalities. And what a fatality is it's an extremely gory move where at the end of the match, whenever you win, it's traditional. It's like finish him. You put in a button combination, and then you usually kill your opponent in a very gory manner.
We actually posted a video on our Facebook of all the Mortal Kombat 10 fatalities.
So really? Okay.
If you want to sit through that, they're pretty gory.
So and if you don't want to press the 4-button combination, you can spend $1 for 5 tokens that disappear after you use them to have one button press. Or I think it's like you press 2 buttons at the same time or something stupid like that. But it's like the most ridiculous cash grab that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, like, it's not even like a boost to the gameplay. It's literally just a save you from pressing 2 buttons. It's like, really.
Do you think this microtransaction spawned from like mobile gaming?
Yes.
Like
Facebook.
cell phone. Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
Like Farmville.
Okay.
Farmville is
so
where,
yeah.
Yes. Farmville and League of Legends are the 2 big. That's where microtransactions came from.
Pay this for this skin that doesn't do anything, but it makes your character look different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are probably, if I had to point a finger at 2 games, Farmville and League of Legends are the 2 that are creating the trend. And at the rate it's going,
it's probably not going to stop.
Yeah, it's going to get worse and worse.
Or maybe they listen to this episode and they stop it.
Well, because essentially what ended up happening was, there was a scare for, or I guess this is the way I look at it. There was a scare for a while that when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One came out, that game prices were going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look and they're like, oh, hey, look, they stayed $60 from the previous games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now since it's more computer oriented and with the the rise of DLC and microtransactions, essentially they found a way to increase the price of a game
without
and people don't think about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, when you look at it, like like one game that I've been playing recently, like Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it first came out, you had the game,
mm-hmm.
and then like a couple months later, they came out with DLC. So okay, you paid your initial $60 if you bought it on release, and then great. Now later you spend another $10 for extra content. Another couple of months you spend another $10 on extra content. So hey, guess what? They just got $80 out of you for the full game or whatever.
For the supposedly this not increased price of a game.
So I mean, so it's definitely, so now you're starting to see this trend of where like whether or not it's hard to tell if they're like cutting back on content just so they can release it as DLC. It's hard to say. I would, looking at it in a business way, I'd say that's probably what's happening. They're never going to admit it, but I'd say probably, because they want to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get their $80 or whatever instead of their $60.
Yeah, well, they're playing on human psychology. They're like, oh, it's this much. I have the game now. Oh, it's only this little amount for this other thing. Or like in mobile gaming, it's like, oh, I can buy this. Just buy 10 more lives or whatever for this Candy Crush or whatever it is. Or I've never played Candy Crush, so I don't know the terminology. But little things to make the game easier.
Sure.
That don't cost a lot, but if you keep buying them over time, you hear about those stories where kids on their parents' accounts spend like hundreds or thousands of dollars on just microtransactions. And some parents sue, but it's like, really, it's not their fault, but kind of it is, because they make it so easy and cheap. And
well, I mean, that's kind of on the it's that's not good that they have little kids can access it and stuff like that, but that's really hard for a developer to tell if a kid's playing it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of on the parents for leaving access to that stuff on. I mean, there's ways you can turn it off. I mean, so it's a kind of a
well, like a lot of things like that. It's weird.
It should always have a password. I think if you do that, then it's fine, and as long as the kids don't know the password, then you're okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And that plays on the parents just not being used to technology where they don't set up the passwords and things like that.
Yeah.
So game developers, please stop it.
Stop microtransactions. It's going to get worse and worse at the rate it's going, and then I'm hoping not another video game crash. Some people are kind of saying, oh, it's coming. Microtransactions are going to be the end of video games as we know it. So who knows? Because then when all of a sudden every game costs over $100 for the game and all the DLC. I mean, or you just do what I do, like with what I did with Borderlands 2 is I waited till after all the DLC came out, and then it was for like under $10. So I'm like, all right, that's what I did, that's what I do now, because it's like it's pointless to buy. You look at certain games and you're like, do I want to buy it for $60? It's like, is there going to be DLC? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
No. Probably buy it. If I really want it, buy it on launch. Will it have DLC? Wait till a year later when it's dirt cheap.
Yeah. I agree. I never. I know like Skyrim, when I was playing games, came out and they had all the DLC edition, the different stories and things like that. And I never bought any of them just because Skyrim was so big and had a lot of side quests already.
Yeah.
And I never finished it at all. So I didn't have I didn't want to be in that world anymore because
It's too big.
I didn't finish it.
It is a very huge game. If you want a game that you're going to get lost in for months, Skyrim is the one to do it. There's just so much junk to do in that game.
Yeah, the map's ridiculously huge, and there's all these markers on it, and you just
and then
different quests.
Like 20 quests in each little marker, and you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah, or just try to walk up a mountain and things like, or jump up a mountain and just waste time like that. But yeah, I'm not much of a DLC microtransaction guy.
So NetherRealm, stop it.
Yeah, please stop it. Please stop it. I know you probably won't. But please,
that's probably one of the that's one of the worst that I've seen. I mean, it's that's up there with like Candy Crush and all them, like buy extra lives. It's like you could just wait. A couple hours. It's like go do something else. Go play another game or something.
Go to the App Store, find another game that's free. Okay.
All right. So back to YouTube.
Yeah. But, so another trailer that came out. Getting back to topic. Superman versus
Batman. I did see
Dawn
that.
of Justice.
I saw that on YouTube too. Hey, look at that! It's tying in with the theme. That's where I saw that trailer.
Yeah, I had saw a leaked version where someone had recorded it on some screen at maybe some event or something.
Movie theater or something.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you had told me that the original, like the actual
they
version
actually
came
released
out.
it. Yeah.
So I watched it. I'm excited.
It looks interesting. I mean, it looks extremely dark.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is dark and gritty, and they're playing on that. I guess the controversy that would kind of maybe exist if aliens were around and they were all powerful, like Superman.
Yeah, you kind of question. It's like, well, what is he doing here? Why is he here?
Yeah, and I mean, it'd be scary. Because I rewatched Man of Steel recently, or was that the last one? I think so. Yeah, the first one was Superman Returns, and then they kind of remade it with the new guy.
The second remake,
Man of Steel,
or whatever. Yeah.
And I rewatched it, and the amount of damage that he does, and just the knowledge that crap, aliens. That's weird. That's not natural, or it is, but not really. They exist. So kind of showing what the world would be like with the world knowing that he's out there. Yeah. So, and they're playing on that, which I think is a good way to go.
Sure.
That's human nature, to be scared of change and
this all-powerful being from outside of this planet is now living on our planet and destroying our shit. It's like, yeah, he's saving us, but he is.
And the trailer doesn't really go into why he's versus Batman.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm curious at. It's like, I've never read any of the Batman versus Superman comics. I mean, unfortunately, spoiler alert, unless you've never heard of these things, I guess Batman always wins.
Yeah, they always play it and I think that's good because I have friends that always say Superman, of course, will always win, and Patrick is one of them that would. Yeah. Superman always says he's gonna, but
if you did a pure Excel spreadsheet of like superpowers and gave it, like levels based on strength, yada yada yada, yeah, of course on paper Superman would win, but that'd be boring.
Yeah,
that'd be boring if Superman just always won.
And it's sad for like human ingenuity to lose out to just a brute force. So you always think like, oh, humans are smart enough, they'll figure out a way. Batman is a genius, and his strategy, he'll account for that mismatch of power, and he'll have Krypton or something like that, or Kryptonite, something. So that'd be pretty cool to see how they play it, because I've seen, we were talking about this earlier, I've seen a fight between them, I think, in cartoon form, where maybe they thought they were enemies, like some spell or something, where they didn't see Superman, Batman saw like an alien or something that he was fighting. Yeah, I don't know where that's from. Maybe I'll look it up.
I was thinking maybe Justice League. That's in my mind, that seems right.
I mean, the only cartoons I've seen of Batman are Justice League and the Batman animated series,
like the old one. Yeah, the really cool one from like the 90s or whatever. Yeah.
So those are the only ones I've ever watched. So it's got to be one of those, or it might have been just like a clip I saw somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. I'll see if I can find it. But
we'll see if we can find it, and then we'll see if we can tack it on the video or whatever when we're talking about it.
And if I don't think like all things, I don't think they'll actually fight it out and there'll be a winner. I think they'll stop and
we're
join
friends
forces.
now. Or I guess Wes, but probably movie's going to be like the Dawn of the Justice League, and probably that'll be the next movie that they come out with is Justice League.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, the whole title of this one is Superman versus Batman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, so probably will lead to the Justice League.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And they already cast like Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Yeah. So I think that's what's on the horizon. So I don't think.
Well, I think they're kind of, with Marvel doing all their movies, they're kind of, forced to have to do it, because if they want to keep relevant.
Well, they see the success of the Avengers and the new Avengers coming out and all the hype around that. Sure. Like, we need to get we have an awesome superhero team. Yeah. Why aren't we cashing in on this? So they're and I think they are kind of rushed into it now because Avengers and all that, and Avengers 2 are coming out. So unfortunately they don't have the infinite cash flow that Marvel and Disney have. Yeah, now.
Yeah, yes, if you have Disney backing you, you're like, all right, we can do whatever the hell we want. We got all the money in the world.
And Marvel has worked up to the superhero team. They had the couple Iron Mans. They had the Hulk movie. Yeah, Captain America, Thor, and then they went into Avengers. So they had that whole build up, and now DC is like, we had the one Superman movie, and now we're going to.
And we had 3 Batman movies, so it's like, all right, that's about it.
Yeah, and that's the build up we have to get our team. And well, I guess this maybe is a transition movie as well. Getting the team together. Who knows? Maybe right at the end, they'll be like, okay, let's join forces. Credits.
And that'd be kind of a boring ending, but we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they.
Like, all right, we're friends now. All right.
They of course put some more thought into the 5 seconds that I just thought of that.
I hope.
Hopefully, or not.
That'd be funny. It's literally just that at the end. Hey, there we go. We're theory crafting. So there. Stop listening to us 5 seconds ago.
Hopefully that wasn't a spoiler. So I'm excited. Great movies are coming out, and and the trailer's released on YouTube. So
yes,
that's one of the. Every time I see hear of a trailer, that's the first place I go to.
Well, because it's definitely
that's where people watch videos.
Probably, a lot of people spend a lot of time on YouTube. I know I do.
Yeah, no, I do as well. Anytime there's free time, and I have nothing else to do, just jump on YouTube, and there's millions of videos that are just.
Yeah, because unfortunately, about 99.9% of it is crap. You do really have to sift through it all to kind of,
Yeah, the time you find sifting through all that, you get some favorite channels that you just go to or subscribe to, and you just go to, and they're on your feed, the new videos that they just did. Yeah, and I've kind of I think I have like 165 channels that I subscribe to, but as I was coming up with the stuff for this episode, I saw a lot that I never watched, or maybe they had like one video.
You watched it one time and then you just never got back to it. Yeah,
exactly. Or I've kind of grown out of it. Sure. Like you get the things you thought were funny.
No, I understand because and when I try to think about YouTube channels that I used to watch versus channels now, it's like I'll forget and then I'll try to go back and find them again, and you're like, I just don't remember.
It's like, why was I watching this? Yeah. Or you forget. But I came up with like a list of kind of some of my favorite types of channels. I guess one we probably have more in common is like gameplay videos.
Yes, that's pretty much, since I can't play video games, I watch it when I have downtime. Yeah. Either that or I'll pull out my 3DS and then I'll watch videos while I'm playing on 3DS. I've done that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of the gameplay videos are the ones that the couple that I like. There's a bunch. But like Mr. Sark, Scene Anners, and Game Grumps are like the 3 that I've watched whenever they come up. And Game Grumps kind of not so much. Yeah. But every time I do watch them, it's funny.
I used to enjoy Game Grumps. I used to watch them pretty religiously, and then I guess it's there's only so much of just random chatter while playing games badly that I can take. That's the end of their thing. Is they just play to have fun, but they're mostly you listen to them for. More of the comedy and stuff like that. Not for the actual gameplay.
And they play a lot of older games, like they're going through Mario 64. So it's like not many people are playing that. Or watching those videos to get strategy or something. It's like that's already been done. So it's all there for their comedians, and they're funny and they're kind of random and they're kind of my type of humor, like kind of the nerdy type of humor. So
because what I liked was Ego Raptor is one of the guys from Game Grumps.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron from Game Grumps. He used to do like a lot of stuff on Newgrounds, a lot of Flash animations and stuff. The Awesome series, such as Metal Gear Awesome was it was funny. If you ever played that game, it was spot on. You're like, that was, you hit on all the crazy ass stuff in that game, in those games.
Oh yeah, and he's done other ones like Halo.
Oh yeah,
like
they did all sorts there's a lot of them. If you go to Newgrounds and look up Egoraptor, you can find them all there.
Yeah, Newgrounds. I remember Newgrounds. I actually submitted some of my Flash animations on there, and they got like, I don't know what I.
Downvoted,
I guess. Was it called downvoted?
I don't remember what it was called, but yeah,
downvoted and just terrible. And I, of course, wasn't a good animator, but it was just fun to do.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it. It was, but Newgrounds. They always had that was like, I guess it was around during YouTube, but for like animations,
I think it was kind of before. I think it was
probably right.
It was definitely around. I think before the start of it. I mean, that was kind of. Your YouTube before it came out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I definitely know it's been around for a long ass time, and it's still going. It's still there. I mean, every once in a while I poke my head on there and go, oh, hey, it is still around. It's still alive.
And it's amazing some of the Flash, like what people can do in Flash.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blown away. Like I had like terrible like Grand Theft Auto type where you see a car from above and it's like crashing into stuff. Like that was my animation. But you see like these amazing like cinematic looking awesome animations, 3D looking.
You're surprised, it's just, it always surprises me that it's like people actually, go into Flash and like they draw all that stuff. So I mean, you got to have the artistic skill in the first place just to animate. You're like, geez.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, Newgrounds and like back then, like E-Bombs World. There's always like these weird comedy.
Yeah, that was kind of the YouTubes before YouTube, because it would, they'd have a link to whatever stupid video and then it'd open up some whatever random player they used.
Yeah, and then so YouTube came around and it kind of just.
It took all those websites and kind of combined them into one.
Put them into one and different channels.
Easier to access and all that good stuff.
And then Google bought them, right?
Yep. Google owns them, yeah.
Yeah, so just threw money at it and it became what it is today. And gameplay videos I watch a lot. And it's most because I don't play games. It's mostly for the personality of the person and like and kind of the comedy that they bring to it.
Yeah, because for me, for gameplay, Yogscast, I watch a lot of them. They do. They've been. It depends. Some they have, because it's a network of channels. It's not necessarily just like one or two channels. It's a bunch of channels, and so depending on who you watch, depends on what they do. Like they do a lot of Minecraft videos. Is what they do. That's what a lot of them are known for. Is their Minecraft videos. Some of them are more of the architecture. Some more of them are just kind of we just play random adventure maps and we do stupid shit and that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
But definitely that there's a lot of channels in there if you just look them up. I mean, they're really popular. Vanos Gaming is one that I found probably about a year ago, and then I've just been watching all of him and all of his friends. They do a lot of fun shit. I love their stuff.
What kind of games do they play?
Like Grand Theft Auto. They started off with like Call of Duty Black Ops, doing stupid shit in that, and then eventually they ended up doing like Gmod. They do a lot of videos out of that.
Yeah.
Or Gary's Mod.
Yeah.
It's what it is, and they just like a lot of games like that, like Grand Theft Auto and Gmod, and then what else do they play?
Yeah, I mean
like different mod maps and that. So I mean it's fun. I mean and then like that, like with with the Yogscast, like they have several friends and stuff like that go together. So you go to the other guys' channels and they'll play slightly different games and stuff. And
yeah, same thing with Mr. Sark and Sea Nanners. They play the Gmod stuff as well, like the prop hunt and the murder. Yeah. So
those are the two big ones that a lot of people play.
Yeah. So and they have other people that they play with, and I've heard Vanos before. So maybe I don't know if they're in that group or something along those lines, but I've watched his videos as well. But,
yeah.
But so things like that are all a good time waster.
Yep.
Just if you have nothing else to do, like you said, jump on that.
And because for more intellectual stuff in the video game realms, like Total Biscuit, he's a video game critic, I guess. Or I don't know, self-proclaimed. I don't know. He is respected among the video game community. So I mean, or at least it depends on who's it's always who you're talking to. So people may not like him. I like him. I think his opinions are extremely valid.
For video game information, like Game Theorist.
Game Theory is awesome.
And Did You Know Gaming are kind of my two go-to places, and I've subscribed to their stuff. So anytime they have something new, even though I don't play the game, but like Did You Know Gaming about like what was the recent one that they did? I just watched it. I can't think of it, but it's like I never played the game or I never played that system, but it's still interesting to see the facts about it.
Sure.
So now I know that for Grand Theft Auto did something for whatever reason. Now I know that.
Yeah.
I can't think of it now, but if someone talks about it, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Well, because actually, when I'm thinking about it, so I haven't really kept up with them recently, but another, actually a YouTube channel that actually made a freaking company out of it. They're actually just up the road up in Austin, Rooster Teeth.
And I think I'm subscribed to their channel, but I don't really watch their stuff.
Because they were kind of the pioneers of machinima. Because Red versus Blue, that was their original series. God, that was way back in the day.
Oh,
that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going. They're still making them.
Oh wow!
But I mean, they've got their own production house up in Austin. I mean, that's really cool.
That'd be like a dream of mine to have like a production house based on like a YouTube thing.
Just us doing stupid stuff, just doing whatever the hell we want. I mean, that'd be awesome. You know.
We'll
see. I mean, that's definitely
who knows?
That's always something that I've wanted to do. I mean, we'll see. You know.
Let's see. And what other types of what's some things that you gravitate towards too? Maybe not video game stuff, or is there?
Jeez. Oddly enough, every once in a while, like a game show failures.
Okay.
That's one of those.
Like the bloopers.
I guess we'll segue into the rabbit holes of the dark. I guess the dark side of YouTube.
The weird
stuff you find. For me, definitely a video game. Or not video game, but a game show fails. I will click one, and then I'll click another one, and I'll click another one.
Well, I mean, YouTube is designed, I think, for just binge watching videos. Because once you stop with a video, it doesn't just end. It's like, oh, if you like that, maybe you'll watch these.
Hey, there's these
related
other videos that are similar, and then you click on that.
And just keep going. Yes. So video game like bloopers and stuff like the old dating game or match game bloopers and things like that. Yeah, I. You can waste a lot of time. You get the occasional
Wheel of Fortune racist comments and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
South Park made a big spoof of that, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess go along with that, like the fail videos, like the fail compilations, where just like seemingly hours of people like just falling or tripping or getting hit in the nuts and things like that. Just America's Funniest Home Video type videos.
Yeah, just all on YouTube and just somebody put them together and stuff like that. I like news bloopers. That's something that I've occasionally I will watch a bunch of.
I like that because it's like we
know that feeling. We're like, yes, we have seen that stuff before.
Like the they go to a reporter and they can't hear. They didn't hear the cue or whatever, or their earpiece isn't working, so they're like, I can't hear you. Am I on? And
that happens, unfortunately.
Because we live in that world.
Yes.
Yeah, those videos are pretty funny. And I guess for me, oppositely, I like they're called like faith restored videos, like faith in humanity restored, and it just shows like people like someone falls off like a subway ledge onto like the train tracks, and like the crowd of people jumping to help them and things like that. So it's like the other side of humanity, like not the failures of people, but like the
I guess the successes of people.
Yeah, or there's like an animal stuck in like a icy river, and they have to like crawl out there with like ropes and ladders and get the animal in. Those are like the ones that you're just like you just watch and you're just like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad to be a human. But
then you see the fail video, and the next one you're like, oh, not anymore.
Oh no!
Why you see the fail video, and you're like, oh.
Why are like just thousands of people watching this humiliated person? Oh, I'm sad. Now I'm sad to be a human. Let's see, what other rabbit holes are there that?
Jeez, what else? I mean, cat videos, or I guess animal videos in general.
Kitten videos are always cute. I guess it's become like a phenomenon on the internet. It's some reason.
It's been for a while. I guess.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, if you want your video to be popular, you either put cats, dogs, little kids, or boobs.
Or
boobs. Yeah, that's it.
And that goes with like the Vine compilations.
Yep.
Like the thumbnail.
Yes.
Is
the clickbait.
Some girl in a bikini, and you're like, all right.
Well, which nowadays doesn't. It's one of those of. I guess kind of the history behind that is the reason you still see those occasionally is how YouTube used to track your popularity was on the amount of times people just clicked. Like they didn't have to watch the entire video; they just clicked it, and so that's why you saw a lot of
interesting
food pictures and stuff like that.
Interesting thumbnails, yeah.
And nowadays, what I think it is, or at least last that I'd really looked it up, It was how much total time was spent watching your channel. So
okay.
the idea of, and that's why you saw the advent of like channels with not necessarily like super long clips, but now a lot of shorter clips. So it's one of those of, you'd go to at the end of the week or whatever, it was better for somebody to watch like 3 of your clips back to back, in duration than just to, watch just like a longer clip.
And and like the Vine compilations where it's like 30 or so 6-second videos. Yeah, it'll keep their attention because it's each 6-second video is
because you want people to sit on your channel watching your videos for longer as opposed to just clicking on more videos. The longer they're watching your video. Consistently watching your content.
So I guess that's the reasoning behind like the rise of like the compilation videos.
Sure, because and plus like you look at stuff like that, like a top 10 list or whatever, stuff like that. I mean, it's just you just get a basic editor, you put a bunch of shit on the timeline, and you export it. You're done. Yeah. Because that's why why those channels have been rising, because you just need basic capture footage, and then you just get a mic, and then there you go. You're done. Editing takes, it depends on how fancy you want to get. Because if you want to do just a basic video game gameplay stuff,
easy.
You just stick your audio track on top of your video track, and you're good to go. Yeah. But if you do want to do stuff more like Vanoss and them do, that'll take you a little while, because then you have to stage some stuff. There's a little bit, like you can tell they stage it a little bit.
Yeah. Or in the post production they have to add sound effects, put in clips, or put in like little video effects, like little like
changing contrast. Like if you want to do sometimes for dramatic effect they'll do the letter bars or whatever, and stuff, that kind of
or
stuff.
Like zoom in to like the prop that they're obviously missing, even though it's like jumping around like on Gmod prop hunt, things like that. That's when it takes a while. But for like the basic thing, just
basic gameplay, just like let's plays and stuff like that, that's why you see a lot of those, because that's literally just you record it, if you can record your video and audio at the same time, then that's even less work you have to do, because then you just drag it into your timeline. There you go, you're done.
Yep. Yeah.
Done. Export it, put it up on YouTube. You cut it so it's 10 minutes long or whatever, but that's it. I mean, that's what Game Grumps does. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to what they do.
Exactly. Yeah. Video track, audio track, they've got intro, outro.
You make an intro and outro. You just make a generic one or whatever. You maybe, you may make it, like After Effects or whatever, or Photoshop or whatever. And you make it so you can just quickly edit it to change the title, and there you go.
Yeah. So that's and there it's one of the biggest. I mean, that's how PewDiePie, the gameplay videos, he's like one of the biggest earners on YouTube.
Well, for him, there actually Game Theory did a theory on why PewDiePie was, and that was kind of because he's lived in multiple like regions that YouTube reaches, and he can speak multiple languages. His videos go out to more regions.
Yeah, because if you're just American, it's just America, and English-speaking countries. But
so like with him, he's got, I think, like parts of Europe and stuff like that, and America. He's got the bigger YouTube watching regions,
and he gets younger kids, like with the. He's explosive and says funny things, and
I watched maybe 1 or 2 of his videos, and I'm like, I guess I don't understand. It's not for me.
I think I'm just too old for it to think that humor is something that I want to watch a lot. Yes, it's funny maybe once or twice, but
how many times can I watch one guy get scared about everything? I mean, it's like
yeah, that shtick just gets old for I think more mature audiences, but the kids. They love it, and when I was a kid, I probably would have loved it just because that man is silly. I'm gonna watch all his videos and click on stuff and get him all the money in the world and he's, like I said, one of the biggest earners on YouTube for multiple reasons. So.
Also, just kind of on the weird power of YouTube, I guess. Like also, like another video on. How did Flappy Bird get popular? It was PewDiePie. Or at least if it wasn't that, it was a really odd coincidence, because it was one of those. PewDiePie put up a video on Flappy Bird, and then the next day, literally, Flappy Bird blew up. So I mean, that's you're like, it's an extremely odd coincidence that all of a sudden this little game on your phone just randomly just blew up all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think it was more him, and then just other people saw the popularity of his videos, and then it just spread. And
they're like, oh my god, that's a stupid game, and that weird guy had fun with it.
And it played right into his kind of wheelhouse, like just him just getting mad and frustrated, and just a simple game that he can just talk over. And
so I mean, so that's, you know, and that's the power of like YouTube and like Twitch and stuff like that. You know, if you get a really popular streamer or YouTuber to show your video game content, a lot of people, you know, buy it.
Yeah. It's like I said, even non-video game players, they go there for the personality, just like and kind of just like just watching them, like Cnanners, like he plays video games that I don't really watch, but he's really funny. Like he's kind of a nerdy guy, so that's why I like that kind of stuff. And you kind of touched on this one, another kind of genre, like top 10 lists.
Yes,
that's the one that, like, no, I didn't really want to watch the top 10 movies that Dan Aykroyd dies in or something like
something silly,
yeah, and it's like, no, I didn't want to watch that, but I watch it, and then they come up with other top 10
and then you look
like,
at a top 10 list, and it's like top 10 boobs and videos or whatever. You're like, yes, I totally want to watch that one. You know, it's always. And then you go, and it's like, oh, hey, and then, you know, it's like top 10 dogs in videos. You're like, yes, I gotta watch that one because I like me some dogs. You know?
Then you blink, and then you look at the clock. It's like 12 hours later, and like
damn it.
And you're watching videos of like
this stupid list that you're just like, why am I watching this? This is boring. But like, I can't stop watching.
I do want to know the top 10 chairs in a movie, and it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like, because did you ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I did.
That was the weirdest show. It's one of those of at first I didn't like it, but then I think once I started getting a little older, I sat down and watched it, and I'm like, I don't understand why this show is good, but I can't stop watching it. You know, I could not tell you why the show was good. It was oddly entertaining.
It's one of those weird ones.
It would suck you in.
I never really thought of it, but I guess a lot of cartoons these days have gone that route where they're just so silly. Like like Adventure Time and like Regular Show. I don't really watch them. I think I've kind of grown out of them.
Those are kind of a different
brand.
You know, I would say, it's a different kind of weird as compared to like Aqua Teen. You know.
Yeah. I mean, well, no, but I'm thinking that kind of incoherent type of just strange characters. I think that's
real quick, because definitely on those lines, like what I think it is I think that they're putting in references to stuff that older people would like. Because especially, did you ever see Regular Show?
I've not seen any
Mordecai
of the shows,
and Rigby. They're like a big bird guy and like a little squirrel thing or whatever the hell he is. I can't remember what he is. But what was really cool about that show is you look at it and it's, you know, they're making jokes that the young kids will like. But like all their technology and stuff like that, or a lot of it is like old 80s stuff. Like, I mean, they have like the best VHS tape in the world and stuff like that. And they're still playing like on like Atari controllers and stuff like that. And it was really cool. It was actually a really well done show. I haven't watched it in a while. But you know, like when I was in Houston, I'd have the TV on. You know, every time it'd pop on, I'd kind of watch it, and it was just it was a fantastic show. I mean, it was one of those shows where they made it so parents could watch it with their kids. Yeah. And it was just,
but the parents will still be entertained by kind of the references.
Well, because I guess if you ever went back and watched like Animaniacs and stuff like that, I mean, I guess that was kind of another show where I didn't realize how intelligent that show was until I watched it as an adult. Because as a kid, I was like, oh, look at that stupid animal is doing stupid stuff. And then I look at it as a kid, I'm like, they're talking to friggin' Nikola Tesla, you know, stuff like that. And you're like, holy crap, I was learning crap, but I didn't know what the hell I was learning. You're like, oh my god. You're like, that's actually quite intelligent cartoons. And you're like,
or like Adventure Time. I never really watch it, and I have friends that do, and I kind of make fun of them for like, oh, it's a kid's show. But like I read about it, and there's some like darker theories behind that world. Like it's like after a nuclear apocalypse, and that's why all this like weird stuff is happening. And it's a theory or whatever, but.
I've watched a little bit of Adventure Time. I've been entertained.
I think I've seen some of it, but
I did enjoy it as much as I liked Regular Show. But I definitely, it's not a bad show. It just wasn't something that I really got into.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's a lot. I guess those are the two that I can think of. But those kind of just like kind of the shows that are able to cross that barrier between kids' interests and adult interest. I guess they do really popular, and like it's weird like hearing like middle-aged men like at work quoting like Regular Show stuff.
What's weird is when you think that it's like it's more popular with, you know, you're like, it's geared towards kids, but it's like the 20s to like 27-year-olds are the ones who are actually watching it. And you're like, that's a weird part. Because when I was sitting in college, everybody's talking about these shows. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, this is supposed to be for kids. Why? I mean, I guess it also fits in with nerd groups and stuff like that. I mean, that's I think kind of where they were going is, I think they kind of wanted that little bit of a, cult classic stuff with the nerds. And that was,
smart for them.
I guess because we're the ones who got all the references, because we're like, that's the stuff we like,
Like that's like our conversations with our friends. We throw this old reference into a conversation, and it's just like watching our conversations in a show. So it's a perfect marketing strategy, I guess. I mean, it's working for them. Obviously, their merchandise and all that kind of stuff that they sell from those shows. I
sell it to the little kids, and then just have the parents enjoy it. So they can sit there and watch it with it.
The older kids buy it ironically, and they wear it around their friends and stuff like that. Let's see, anything else
let's see, YouTube. I guess other rabbit holes.
What did I put on
ones that I've heard about, I've never really watched, but they did. What was it like? The grocery hauls or whatever.
Okay.
Where like people would go to the grocery store, and then they would show off what they bought. I mean, like I've never really sat down and watched. I think I saw like one where I was just like, really? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
why would people want this?
That's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's an easy video to make. Like you go shopping and then you just talk about the stuff you buy. I don't see how that's interesting.
I don't either, but I'm not a shopper.
Yeah,
either, so.
I've not seen any of those videos, but I've seen haul videos of like people buying clothes.
Yeah,
I've heard of that. I've not watched them because I'm not much into fashion, but I've heard of popular YouTubers doing that.
Sure.
And I watched this video on Cracked.com, which is kind of a comedy site, and that's where I got a couple of these kind of rabbit holes or like weird types of videos on YouTube, and they talked about the fashion haul videos, and it's not just like older people; it's like kids doing it.
Man, so that's weird.
Then, like I can understand if you watch like this, like a girl, like a woman who's talking about like the bikini she bought. That's that.
You know what Jimmy watches now?
Oh yes, obviously that's all I watch, but I could see the appeal of that or why that would be popular to
certain people.
Yeah. But there's like little kids doing those types of videos. That's when it gets scary. That's when it's like, oh no, why are parents allowing this to happen? They know, or maybe they don't know what kind of people are watching it. But
who knows?
That's a scary type of YouTube. The scary world of YouTube videos.
Jeez.
Other weird. I don't know if you've heard of this, and I've not really watched it. ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response videos.
I have no idea what that is. I may have seen them, but I just don't know that's what the hell they're called.
It's videos where I guess people just like whisper into the camera or like do weird things, like they get like a comb and they brush the bristles on the comb where it makes that little sound that you hear.
Okay.
And what it's supposed to do, it's supposed
calm you or something.
Calm you or like trigger a physical sensation in your brain. they like I've heard it's called like a braingasm. Like it's just like you actually, I don't know.
So I assume you're probably supposed to listen to these with like headphones on or something like that. I guess like meditation almost type deal.
And
I guess.
It's they're just doing weird things like brushing hair or hitting two pieces of wood together or something. Just like different audio things that are supposedly supposed to make the viewer feel something.
Okay.
Or just feel sensations.
Sure.
And yeah, that's another one of those videos that I found on that Cracked video, which I'll put the link on. But they always say it's not sexual. It's not sexual. It's not supposed to be sexual. But then,
people probably make it sexual.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and
was it Rule 34 or whatever?
Yeah.
If it's been invented, or I guess that's what the like cartoons from your childhood. If it exists, there's a porn about it.
Yeah. That's you don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of the dark depths of the internet. Don't go searching. There. Yeah, Google Rule 34 if you want. You'll see some interesting stuff there.
Oh man, I guess like another weird one. So yeah, those are weird, but just completely weird. But mukbang videos. Have you ever heard of those?
Mm-mm.
I've not watched them, but I've seen people talking about them. But it's just watching a person eat. just like instead of like if you're watching us and there's a table here and it's just a lot of food and just watching a person eat it.
All right.
It's popular on YouTube. I guess I've never.
Well, what I remember for a while was we had those videos of like people reacting to bad videos. Like I remember like when 2 Girls 1 Cup. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, if you're too young for that, don't go look it up. It's horrifying.
Yeah, like those reaction videos, and you see
those.
I
mean, that's what PewDiePie does. I mean, that's basically what he's known for, is reacting for video games. But I mean, it was literally just a video. Like it'd be like, say there's like a laptop here and we're sitting there staring at it and we're going, oh, that's gross. No.
Yeah.
Or you get that one guy that's like, this is freaking awesome. You're like, all right.
It's like, play that again. But yeah, and speaking of that, reaction videos, it's kind of like one of my guilty pleasures. There's a React channel, and it's like elderlies react.
Yes, I do.
Or elders react.
I do watch that very
react.
rarely.
Yeah. Every once in a while, if it's something that I've seen before, sometimes they do like these weird react to this weird video that I've never heard of. I'm like, I don't really care. But if like kids reacting to old technology,
yes, I love those because those are funny because it's you look at like it's just like an old
like the Game Boy, like the original Game Boy
was pretty funny.
They're just like, oh, is this a phone? Or like, oh, come on, kid. Or like elders react to like Oculus Rift or something like that. Those are. I mean, it's not something I guess I am projecting it out into the world right now, but it's just one of those just guilty pleasures. So
sure. I mean, every once in a while I have found that channel every once in a while. I can't remember what they're called. I don't know. We'll try to look it up and we'll post a link or something.
It was the Fine Brothers.
That's it. Fine
Brothers, but they split off to just do a React channel.
Yeah.
And it's I guess I shouldn't be embarrassed to say I watch it because it got picked up I think for like a show, like an actual React TV show.
Oh wow, really? That's interesting. I'll have to see if we can find that. That's interesting.
I don't know if it's out yet, but I think it's either in the works or something like that. But so I guess it's popular enough for that to happen.
Sure, I guess.
But yeah, so React videos.
See, I'm trying to think what else.
Let's see.
There's something else thinking of that I forgot.
I guess popular every once in a while. Auto-tune, like they auto-tune the news. Your remixes and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, you make a remix out of anything. Yeah, so you get like the viral video clips, and they make a song about it.
Sure.
You always see things like that.
Yes, you always see that. That's like the second clip that comes out afterwards. Is somebody made a remix out of it.
Like the what was the recent one where it's like, I ain't got time for that, or
yes,
or I got bronchitis. And
I think that was what out of Houston, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
it was somewhere close to. I think it was somewhere in Texas, if I remember right.
Yeah, I could see that being somewhere in Texas, and then they make a song about it, and it's funny. Or
and you hear it pop up. It's a meme now, and you hear it pop up in all the videos and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah, so those are.
There's actually a cool one that I could remember, like tutorial videos. I see a lot of those, especially like you're talking about that extreme cosplay guy or whatever.
Okay.
For those of you guys who don't know what cosplay is, it's costume play. It's where you dress up as like a comic book character, a video game character, just a fictional character.
Yeah, and
I dress up as them, and then it's like Halloween, but not on Halloween.
Yeah,
exactly. I guess that's not quite accurate, but it's. In layman's terms, sure. I mean, there's a little bit more to it. If you really get into it, there's a lot more. Like you try to, act like the character.
But basically, you dress up as
somebody. Yeah. But you walk around and
and there's a guy that I watch, James Bruton, and he's a he's kind of like a engineer.
I guess a hobbyist or
he's an engineer, but as a hobby he does cosplay, and I started watching him. It was about the time when like Iron Man was coming out, and he made his own Iron Man suit. Or I watched his like build videos of him making it, and with a 3D printer, which is a really cool technology out, and I was kind of interested in it. I've seen some videos on it, and then it was one of the related videos.
Yeah, that's more of an extreme case of what you can do with it. You're like, oh wow, you can make an entire suit of armor out of plastic.
Yeah, and
or at least you can use it as the base. I don't know if you'd make the entire, because if you tried to make the entire suit, that would take forever.
Yeah,
for a 3D printer.
Yeah, and he's had some like big pieces that he's had to 3D print, and him saying like, this took.
Probably a couple
hours.
days.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like for the really big stuff, it could take like over a day for sure. But yeah, he just every every 2 times a week or something, he does another update to one of the suits that he's doing, like an Iron Man suit. He's doing a Hulkbuster right now, and it's just this huge thing. He's on like 1.5 stilts to get a huge armor, and he's putting electronics in it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just interesting to me, like that creativity and like the problem solving that he does.
Somebody could do it. Yeah, I mean that's just nuts.
Yeah, so those are the videos I like. Yeah,
because another kind of series that I remember seeing in that ilk is Man at Arms, and what they do is they take like video game weapons or fantasy weapons and stuff, and then make it into an actual working weapon.
Yeah, I've seen them. Someone make like I guess a hero sword, something like actual metal stuff. I guess is hero sword from Zelda.
Master Sword is
Sword.
Yeah, I mean, like they made an actual Master Sword. Like they actually made like the Hylian shield or whatever. I mean, they made an actual freaking shield, and I mean, they shot an arrow at it, and they're like, yeah, no, the arrow got deflected. So I mean, would I really want to use it in actual combat? Probably not. I mean, it would it work? Sure. But it's one of those of would I want to go into combat with a shield nowadays? No.
And I think another one that they did, Final Fantasy, that huge
the Buster Sword.
Yeah,
probably.
that huge one.
Yeah, I mean they've done all sorts of. I mean they've done a lot. I mean I'll try to we'll put some annotations up to it or whatever. I mean that's a pretty cool series.
Yeah, I've always wanted to make stuff, and I guess watching it being made is like the next best step.
Yeah,
I think that's why the popularity.
Because you're like those guys have talent and stuff like that, and they I mean like with like the Man at Arms, those guys are actual blacksmiths. I mean that's what they do. And that's why they can make this stuff.
And they're doing this awesome skill, but they're playing on like the nerdy side of the audience, and
that's cool. I mean,
I'm all for that.
I'm sure probably their actual business is making actual more realistic stuff, but that's cool that they take the time to, maybe since they got the show, maybe that's all they do nowadays. I don't know. I mean, if they're making enough money off of it, power to them. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they're getting contracts of people wanting like, hey, build me one of those, or I'm sure that's a great marketing thing.
Yeah, probably like American Chopper and stuff like that, where they get some sort of a show just instead of doing it on AMC or whatever, they're just doing it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is amazing. Like if you're just a casual person, it's amazing because it's showing you interesting things. Yeah. But if you're a business, it's an amazing because it's free. It's
new advertisement avenue. I mean, it's definitely one of if you can make good enough content to pierce through all the crap, you can definitely get your stuff out to a lot of people.
Yeah. So anything else that you can think of?
Not right off the top of my head.
Me neither. Let's see, how long have we been going? Oh, about an hour. So pretty
YouTube,
pretty
definitely
good,
pretty cool.
And like we said, I'll try to go through the audio on this and get all the links of the channels.
We're not sure who's going to edit it. I may be doing it because hopefully by the time I get my new computer, it'll probably be about the time that we get around to this episode. So it may take me a little bit longer. I may want to use it to test out my.
Yeah. Well, no.
I'm hoping to get a new computer within like a couple of weeks here. Hopefully, I'm waiting until the semester gets out. So then once I'm in summer, then I'll start. Hopefully I'll get the parts relatively quickly, and then I'll start putting it together, and then we'll go from there.
Well, like I said, I'm far behind on videos, so it's going to take a while for this video to come out. So there'll be plenty of time, I think, for that to make it kind of interesting, like little either.
So it may be a very different video editing style because I'll just be dicking around.
Yeah,
so I'll add, there'll be flash frames every 2.5 seconds.
Well, that's fine. That's
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know I won't go that crazy.
No, that's fine. But yeah, that's going to be our episode 60.
One more than 59.
One more than 59.
Two more than 58.
If you're trying to remember and you can't think of like what channel, just think 2 more than 58.
I know that. Yes, that's a lot easier to remember than 60.
But yeah, so that's Thinking Outside the Pod. New episodes every Monday. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, I am kind of behind on the videos. I've been, I think I'm on 52 right now. I'm on the.
So what we'll do is I may start trying to help out as best as I can with some of the stuff. Since I'll have a lot more time for a little while. So, I mean, there'll be some conventions coming up and stuff. There'll be some times where I won't be able to work on it, but I'll have a lot more free time since summer break's coming up.
Oh no, that's fine. Like I said, the videos are kind of secondary, and it's just kind of something that we can play around with.
Yeah.
At least for now, while we are kind of just getting to everything.
Sure. Yeah. And then once we kind of figure out, hopefully, during the summer, I definitely would like to do a little bit more video content. Just now that I'll have the time to do it. And then next semester, I'll have a lot more afternoons to work on stuff, so I'll have some time to. Whatever we get started in the summer, I'll probably be able to continue it once school starts.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be our episode. I guess side note real quick, if you're hearing any difference in audio quality right now,
yes.
I just pulled the trigger on a Zoom portable recorder, the H6, and it's definitely, whenever you do see the video, you can tell our table is not as cluttered. It's portable.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner.
A lot easier for setup and breakdown.
So
and stuff
we are just hoping that this audio recorded just well.
Yeah,
I don't know. The levels on this thing look fine to me.
It's showing. So we'll see.
We're just hoping we didn't accidentally not record this entire hour-long session.
Oh, I forgot to put in the memory card.
Whoops.
I probably should have told me that. Dang, you Zoom. But I like it, so
it's cool so far. I mean, it's definitely compared to our normal 15-20 minutes of setup, it took us about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a heck of a lot more convenient.
And before I bought it, I went on YouTube and watched unboxing videos and reviews on it.
Sure.
So that's another use for YouTube. So
I do that too. I mean,
so that's going to be our episode. Like I said, follow us on social media. You'll be up to date with everything, and comment, or if you want us to talk about something, or if you have a project that you want to talk about and promote, let us know, and we'll get you on a phone interview or whatnot. So that'd be cool.
All right. See you guys next week.
Next week.